Hello, and today I'll be showing you how to make a beat. So I'm gonna kind of go over this briefly. I tried recording this before and this was 20 minutes, so I'm gonna try and do this a lot quicker. So basically what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to play around on a piano in a MIDI file of any production program. That being GarageBand, I think BandLabs has it too. I'm on FL Studios, there's Logic. As long as it has this thing where you can put notes into it, that's what you want to start off with. So right here, you just have the main kind of uh, idea behind the beat. So you just want to repeat it. Repetition is good in rap whenever making beats. So now you're gonna want to lay out groundwork of some sort. So what I did is I just kind of shoot. I just mess around with the beat, so I kind of had a supporting bass line within the piano before I put in the 808s, because this on top of the 808s will sound good. So this is, I'll show you the first and the second half, because these are two different sections right here. Okay, so that's gonna be your main idea here. So now I'll show you how to do the hi-hats. So the hi-hats are super easy. Um, you'll just want to put in like this on your program. There'll be these lines here. It'll look something more like this. You'll just put it on the first one and the third one. So it's like this. And then on the first beat of the or like the fifth line here, the fifth box here, you're just gonna want to put like three little clustered ones right here, so it makes this sound, which is a really common sound in rap. And then you're gonna want to put over here, after you get through this, you're gonna want to replicate that sound, just because that sounds good whenever putting it over with everything else. And then towards the end, for a transition, you'll just put in a bunch of little of these. These are 6 put in equal spacing. You'll usually have lines on your program that are like this, and it sounds like this. And with it, this is what it sounds like. So now with the 808s, you're also gonna want to base them off of the main melody part. Super easy. Just follow the piano part that you came up with earlier. I added in slides. This right here, this is the note that you'll be sliding to, and for how long, and this is the root note and how long it will be going for, like the actual note. This is how long it will take to slide. This is how long the note will last. So this is the bass line I came up with. I just followed a scale, which is what I did with the rest of the beat. So it's a really simple bass line, and then you're just gonna want to put some snares on the third beat of every measure. So it'll sound like this whenever you put it with the song. Now you'll notice I didn't want to put one here just to signify that something was changing here. And so now I've shown you how to make the main melody and the main like part of the song. So now I'm going to show you kind of the transition part, like a little interlude within the music that's just kind of a break from the repetition. So what I did is I just had it repeating 4 notes just going down. Super simple, but not as fast, just like this. And you'll notice I have these little breaks in the music because resting within the music, quiet within music, silence within music, 3 different ways of saying it, that can produce a lot. Nothing can be a lot. So So I forgot to mention, EQing is kind of an important part. It's not essential, but you can make your sound a lot better. Sorry, I gotta find the. Okay, so this right here, right, the EQ, you're basically taking out parts of the song you don't want, or the sound of an instrument, right? So let's say that there's like a sound down here that you don't like in the bass subsection. You can just cut it off right here, right? And I did that with my other sample, the one where I cut up the sample and made the beat out of it. This right here, it's just all of the frequencies within the instrument, right? So with the piano, it'll look something like this. I don't want the lower frequencies infringing on the 808s, and I want the higher frequencies messing with the hi-hats. So the lower frequencies, which is like right about here, this is where your bass will live. This right here is the midsection, so like pianos and sometimes voices, not usually, but sometimes. Not violins, cellos, guitars will live down here. And then up here you'll have really high frequencies like hi-hats and snares. So this will add more of a tin sound to those. You can make it sound more bright just by messing around with this. This can change a lot about your song, just how you're phrasing everything, you know? Just like how in English, if you phrase something a certain way, it can make you sound more intelligent. So I'll link in the description a website that I use for this, but right now I'll just explain what I did here. I already explained this part with the 808s. It was super easy. I just didn't want high frequencies. Everything else I wanted to leave because the program I was using that comes with it is called Flex. Would recommend it. The 808s are already kind of pre-made, so basically they'll sound good. If you want there to be more bass from it, you just boost this. If you want there to be less bass, then lower it. But if you're using an 808, you're not wanting less bass. So the hi-hats you'll just want to boost on the right side, pretty simple stuff, and the kick, that's with the 808. The snare, it depends on what kind of snare. This snare is kind of different than normal. I use this snare shape a lot, but this snare has a different kind of sound. But it is a good snare. You can find it on Sample Focus, but it doesn't sound like a traditional snare. So now I'll show you the whole song for real this time. As this one was. Okay, so with this beat, it's a little more complicated than the other one. It's not as simple. So what you're first off gonna want to do is you're gonna want to find a sample that sounds good. I can't stress this enough. I mean, you can find something that sounds bad, but it's gonna be making it harder on yourself. And as a beginner, making things that sound bad sound good, that have already been produced, is kind of hard. But with this, as long as you have like decent chords that are kind of in tune, you should be fine. So I found this one on this website. I'll link in the description. Um, I'll link all the websites that I found all my samples on, but this one you have to like pay if you're gonna publish this song somewhere. So personally, I wouldn't recommend it. I would find a sample somewhere else that's royalty free while starting out, just because you don't know if you're actually gonna be producing anything. Um, and it's not cheap. It's not like $5. It's like 50 for the rights to it. So I took this sample right here. This is what it sounds like originally. So then what I did is I took this knob right here and I just cranked it up. Right, and so now it sounds like this. I think that sounds good for doing this kind of thing. His voice was too like what is it called? Too rich, you know. I kind of needed to saturate it out. His voice was too nice for the thing I was kind of doing. I needed something just a little more high pitch and more saturated. So this right here, this pitches it up. This one I'm pretty sure makes it faster. This one, don't worry about it. It's not important for this right now. So after you have it turned up, you're just gonna skip over the intro for now. You're gonna reverse the sample, and you're gonna find 4 different chords. So this is an example of what a chord is. Do you hear those notes? Like all those notes being played on top of each other? That is a chord. So all those harmonies and stuff, that is a chord. Whenever you hear people harmonizing, you're making a chord. You're gonna find 4 different chords within a section. So this right here is a really good example. You're gonna find this in the reversed part of your song. You're gonna chop it up just so it sounds like you get sections that grow and grow. That's what it's gonna look like, right? So this is what it looks like reversed. This right here, so you see the notes are growing. They're growing. So whenever you're cutting the sample up, it's just going to be continuously growing, and then it's going to climax at the end, and then it's going to soften again since it's playing in reverse, right? And you're going to get a cool effect from it that's going to sound something like this. So then you're going to have something that supports it, that is really heavy and really important to your song. It's the bass. So the bass here, you're really not going to want to make it complicated, because if you make a complicated bass line with something like this, with the vocals being so rich and it's not good, it will ruin your song. So sometimes less is more. So right here, I think I only have like 4 notes on the intro, right? This is what it sounds like. Right, so that doesn't sound too interesting when you put it together with it and you put a kick over it. That sounds pretty nice, you know, and I'm basing it off of the melody. You can hear it. Just use your ears, trust your ears. So whenever you're producing, you're gonna want to keep the intros kind of simple. You're gonna want to build. You're gonna want to build up. So right here in the intro, in the this right here, the kick and the bass, you're gonna have it like this, right? So it's kind of, you know, kind of dry right now in that section. So then, whenever you're building up to get into the song, then right here you just have it playing more kicks, but not too much. So then you're gonna add in the hi-hats. The hi-hats, you're just gonna follow this rule, really easy rule. Just 1, 2, 3, groups of 3. Here I added 5 just because I thought it sounded good. This isn't any music theory or anything like that. It just sounds good whenever you put it in context. And I just played around with the little spontaneous little bursts of hi-hats, because in rap you'll hear that a lot within the beats, and this is what it sounds like. And then right here at the end, I just have it going down. you can do that. That's used in songs a lot, not as often as the little spurts, but they are used. So this right here, I just have this plug for texture. This isn't, you don't have to use this in a song, but I did for this one, just because, you know, I thought it sounded nice. I thought it sounded nice, added a layer of texture to the song. So this right here, I literally copied the bass line, copied and pasted the bass line, and I just kind of redid this rhythm to match up with the kicks. So it's just a combination of those two just to outline them further. And then you're gonna have these snares here on the threes. I don't know if I said that in the last one, but put your snare on the three because, I mean, it sounds good, you know? That right there, see, that sounds good. It sounds like a full sound. So now the hard part in music is getting transitions to sound good, right? If you don't have transitions between sections, it's gonna sound bad. It's not gonna sound good, or it's just gonna sound incomplete. So this right here, this is what the sample sounds like originally.
You ready? Right, let's make this the one.
I cut it up into 3 different parts, so it sounds like this.
You ready? Right.
Just so it fits within it, I have a soda pop just to kind of get rid of this gate effect up here, like kind of fill in the gaps between it, because it can get tiring on the ears. And this right here is a Street Fighter sound effect.
Perfect.
And I just cut them up so it fits right in there. So you see the sound file where it's climaxing, you're gonna want to put it in the box, because if you don't put it in the box, then it's gonna sound offbeat and not good. So this is what they all sound like together.
You ready? Right. Let's make this the one.
Perfect.
Now I will admit the soda pop doesn't sound the best, but right now it sounds pretty serviceable. I will find something better in the future, but for now this is gonna have to stay. So right here I just chose to do this little thing. So right here, these things, if you were wondering, it basically controls something that's you usually wouldn't be able to change through in the music. And the way you do it is you like move something around up here, you go to tools, you go to last tweaked, and then you go to create automation clip, and then it'll make one of these thingies, and it'll look something more like this. So wherever you want to change the music, you just click it. You just click it, and then one of these circles will come up. You can right click it. Right now I have it on hold, so basically it's just holding it steady, the line steady. And then you click another one in here, and then you click one over here. You set the value. You set the value, and the way you get the value is you come over here, and you press copy value, and then you can paste the value into by right clicking the circle, and then paste value. But I didn't copy and paste it. Or I mean, I did before, but not now. So it would be highlighted if you could paste it. So here in between, you'll move this one down because you want the tempo to slow down a little bit. It shouldn't be too drastic because right now we're at 104. You can't really go too down from there. I put the reverb up on the whole sound, so everything gets a reverb spatial sound effect, airy, I guess. And I pitch down just for effect, and this is what that sounds like. So now that we're here, this is a transition section. I took a separate section of a song and I just followed what I did here, and I just chopped them up. I just chopped them up big time. The hi-hats are a little different. It just doesn't have that thing at the end that goes down. This right here, I kept it simple with this, so just 2 notes. 2 notes, and it follows the main structure of the song that's here, and I just repeated it twice. That's it. And then I had a dog barking for a transition to go into this that has reverb on it. So then at the end, it just starts repeating what it has over here. And the bass changes a little bit. It just kind of goes, just makes it kind of sound different. So there's something changing at all times. Change is good, but you want to keep it kind of predictable. You don't want change to be too drastic, or you don't want it to be unexplained. If you're going to change something, make sure you explain it. So this right here, it's just a little bit of a different bass line. It's nothing too special. and then at the end I was too lazy to put to make a new thing, so I just took a chop of a hi-hat and I just kind of spread it out here to make what I wanted to. So for the intro, you're just gonna want to find something that goes into your song pretty easily from the song. I always tend to do the intro and the outro last, just because it makes more sense to make your song first, your central idea, and then make the intro, which can like throw everything off of the MIDI program, which can be kind of confusing whenever you're making it. So I just kind of do that at the end, and the outro as well, just because the outro can get in the way whenever you're making stuff, and it can get annoying to keep having to move it out the way. So with the intro, I just found this little snippet from the song that sounds good, and then right at the end, I wanted to introduce a change by putting 4 different snippets of the same clip right here. So what I did is I took the snippet and then I literally just put it over here, basically copying and pasting it 5 different times, so it preps you to hear the next section. So it's really easy. It's nothing too hard with this, and once again, whenever you're producing, use your ears, look up YouTube videos. YouTube videos are really helpful. Something that Dr. Dre and Kanye didn't have back in the day is the internet, so you can make something really good. It probably won't be on their level, but you know, you can make something that's pretty serviceable and could be used to actually rap over. So now I'll show you what this sounds like.